I have a grudge against my brother. The Vice-Chancellor mentioned a film in which we serve, which came to Leicester in, I think, 1942. And it was my first job. And when it came to Leicester, because I was a Leicester lad, the posters ignored John Mills and Noel Coward and Celia Johnson, etc., and starred this young man from Leicester with a part which I can assure you, if you'd coughed at the wrong moment, you'd have missed me. However, I had a younger brother, and the thought that a member of the family should be caught prancing about in public was really beyond any possible acceptance. And so that at school, at the Wiggy Boys, I happened to know that when somebody said to Dave, "Ayo, Patty," said, "is this Richard Attenborough a relation of yours?" Dave drew himself to his not inconsiderable height and replied, "Only distant." Dave and I actually have got on reasonably well through the years, although I do have to tell you that sometimes we have been mistaken one for the other. And I was in the United States promoting Gandhi, and a lady came through the crowd at a reception and said, "Oh, Mr. Attenborough, what an honor. What an honor. My whole family, when I go back and Mr. Attenborough, when I saw the way you handled those gorillas, I knew that Gandhi was in good hands." I did not go to university. I left school when I was just 17, and I shortly went into the Air Force from RADA. It is unequivocally the greatest regret of my life. And I can only say that the privileges that I have been granted at various universities, but most particularly here in Leicester, and as the Vice-Chancellor has mentioned at Sussex, it has been a gift granted me which I never thought would ever come my way. And I say that it is a gift given me because sometimes I'm not absolutely certain that we are as aware as we might be about the privilege of higher and university education. I was in Mozambique a short time ago with my wife, and I was there for UNICEF. And it was shortly after the floods, and I remember walking down a very narrow path, I suppose, scarcely a roadway, down which was running filthy sewer water. The whole place was in an awful, undeveloped state. And I came across a very statuesque black woman sitting underneath 4 posts with a bit of canvas on the top. And she was hammering out Coca-Cola tins and giving them to a child to put on a pile way down there which was to be sold. And as one does on such occasions, with a stupidity and a banality which is shameful, you desperately try and find something to say, some idiotic remark to make. My job was to try and report back to UNICEF what I found there. But I thought I should ask this noble woman, what if she had a choice in the world? What might she ask for? And I knew at the back of my mind she was going to ask for some clean water, or food, or clothes, or employment. And she didn't ask for any of them. "What would you wish for?" I said. "Education," she said, "for my children." And I cannot forget that without getting the hairs raised on the back of my neck. I thought it was absolutely extraordinary. A woman with absolutely nothing had the perception to know just how valuable education, almost beyond anything, was in her priorities.